Hello everyone, welcome to the new episode of Power Platform Clinic with me Andre Margono from Melbourne, Australia. Today I'm going to continue the how-to series and we'll walk you through the process of configuring the hands-off setup or agent transfer from Power Virtual Agents to the Omnichannel for customer service. Right now with me I have the Microsoft documentation about this topic. And please check the description below to see the links that related to this video. So let's walk through this documentation. As usual, we should read carefully the prerequisite section to ensure that we don't miss anything. The first one, we need to make sure that we have enough licenses that cover us for both PVA and Omnichannel for customer service. The next one, we need to have the user with Dynamics 365 security role for Omnichannel so that we can add the bot to the Omnichannel for customer service. And we will also need the Azure AD application registration. This will be part of the prompt of the setup later on. Okay, now let's walk through the setup process. In here, I have the pre-built PVA bot that is able to perform some basic tasks. And for more complex scenarios or some scenarios that would be more appropriate to be handled by human agent, we would like to transfer them. Actually, this is a very common implementation pattern where the PVA bot could not do specific task or inquiry, or it need to handle some sensitive information. It always be the best to get the attention from the human counterpart and to be solved by an actual agent. So this will give the end user a great user experience. Now let's kick off the setup process by clicking the transfer to agent link here. It will open up a page here that they're showing up. There are two options for the transfer to agent scenario. The first one is with Dynamics 365 Omnichannel, and the other one is with the custom built engagement hub or BYO engagement hub. For the context of this video, we will not set up the BYO model and we will focus on the Dynamics 365 for Omnichannel option. Let's click the Dynamics 365 option. Please note that it will open up the privacy statement here, so if you are having some sensitive information, it will be good for you to check the statement. And then let's click on the next button here. It will open up the app registration process on Azure portal. Let's click on the Azure app registration link here. It will open up the Azure portal with the app registration page, and let's fill in the basic information here and click on the register button. This will then register the application in our Azure AD, and all we need is now to copy the application ID here as it is required by the prompt in the setup page. Let's copy and paste it in the wizard prompt and click on the next button here. The next step, it will show up that it prompting us to enable Microsoft Teams as it is the required communication method with Omnichannel for customer service. Well, this is based on the description from the official documentation, and the default behavior is also listed in this documentation. The next prompt is asking us the environment that we are going to link the bot with. Please note, it is quite important if you are doing the implementation work. You should be very careful with the selection of the environment because it will only allow us to link the Omnichannel instance only once. And if you need to link it with a different environment, you will need to recreate or redeploy the bot and do the setup process again.
A few moments later.
Once the setup from the PVA side is complete, let's continue with the setup with the Omnichannel side. We can open up the documentation for the Omnichannel, and as usual we always can check the prerequisite. Well, mostly we have covered the basics from the previous set, and the chat widget here we have set up in the previous video. To start with the Omnichannel setup, we will need to assign the bot to a specific queue and configure the routing rules under the workstream. So let's head back to the setup page and click on the Omnichannel link that will open up the Omnichannel administration app. As we can see here, the bot is now part of the user list. The next step is to ensure that the bot is assigned to the web chat queue that we have created from the previous video. Once we are sure that the bot has been assigned to the correct queue, the next step is to configure the routing rules and the context variable under the workstream. Let's open up the live chat workstream that is linked to our chat widget previously. The first part is for us to create the context variable. We need the VA underscore scope here as a record. By the way, for the reference, you can see the link from the documentation here to see what variables that are available that will be passed from the agent transfer process from the PVA. Once we have the VA underscore scope context variable, the next step is to configure the routing rules. We need to set up two rules here, one for the agent and one for the bot. Here I'm going to share my findings from my experience setting it up. What works for me so far is, so the basic concept is the VA underscore scope variable value will be populated when the bot is triggering the transfer to agent scenario. Otherwise, it will give a blank value. So the routing rules that we need to set up is simply if the VA underscore scope contains data, route it to an agent, because basically there's an agent transfer has been triggered. And if it doesn't contain data, route back to the bot so they continue the conversation with the bot itself. So from that basic understanding, let's continue and configure it that way. Now the basic setup from the Omnichannel is done. Let's try it out by opening up the chat widget and copy the code snippet and try it on W3 Schools here. And I have this Omnichannel Agent app to be open side by side so that we can see that how the communication between the actual widget that is embedded in your web portal later on or somewhere in Power Apps portal, and it can talk to our agent. Now as we trigger the handover to agent here, we can see from the agent app that there is a prompt for the handover at the right hand side there. And once we click it, we can see that the conversation trail between the customer and our virtual agent is actually recorded here. We can scroll through and look at the historical to understand the context, and we can continue based on the context here. So that's it for today's guys. So we have completed the setup for Power Virtual Agent bot that can transfer to human agent. It's all by configuration and no code required. Please stay tuned to this channel. In the next video I will discuss more about Omnichannel. And if you have any questions about anything about Power Platform or Dynamics 365, please put in the comment section below and I will try to cover it in my upcoming videos. See you next time. Stay tuned.